Alrighty, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the games today. My name's Extreme, and I'm here joined by Shadow Boy. This is Risky Behavior versus the Perky Pandas. That's a cool name, the Perky Pandas. Pretty happy name.
Yeah, I mean they're perky. That's the goal. So we're actually in the round robin phase. So my apologies for last time. Points not a factor. We're more so focused on how many times can you beat someone in your group. And right now, the Perky Pandas and Risky Behavior want to beat the others so that they have a chance to make it to week 7, to where it gets to all the marbles. We're talking first place, $2,500. I mean, this is where you finalize your opportunity to advance to the next phase of Tier Monsters Challenger Cup series. And I mean, already you saw last game, it was very intense. It was very well fought on both ends. Even though one team kind of escalated after a certain point, you got to give it over to part-time. They played a heck of a game for the most part.
They did indeed. But let's get into the bans here. This is Risky Behavior versus the Perky Pandas. First ban coming out, it's a Nauquag. How unusual of a ban.
Pretty unusual. Risky Behavior already taking a big risk by banning out Kwong, and actually the Perky Pandas banning out Radtasker, bit of a surprise, but still at the same time not. Radtasker is revered as one of the stronger assassins in the current meta, and Susano is also a very strong assassin taken off the board.
Yeah, the Perky Pandas probably, they do opt to ban Raijin. Nothing really too unusual coming out of the bans. These are just kind of the typical top tier, like A+ gods coming out, and Risky Behavior do pick up the Athena for their first pick.
This does leave a lot of support options on the table for the Perky Pandas if they want to go ahead and pick it up, but I don't think they have to just yet. Scylla going to be locked in for the Perky Pandas, so not sure if that's necessarily a counter pick just to make sure that they don't have the Athena Scylla I'm a Monster combo, or the Athena taunt into I'm a Monster, or excuse me, into Crush. Anything really works well with Scylla, especially easy CC like Athena. So this could be a counter pick, but this also could fit into their own strategy, as they did lock in Sobek.
Yep. Sobek, you can kind of do the same sort of thing with an Athena. You just pluck them into either a Crush or I'm a Monster. Still can be all kinds of damage, but Risky Behavior will pick up that Nausea. So another high burst damage, potential god, especially with that ultimate able to pluck people up into the air, do a lot of damage, and bring them back down right onto an Ice's ultimate. So you can do you can do some combos, Spirit Ball on landing, or drop them right in the middle of an Ice's ultimate. Who knows? It could be all kinds of nonsense, but the Perky Pandas will opt to pick up a Hunbots for the last pick there. Another example of a really big circles and really big, team fighting potential gods coming out of the Perky Pandas.
Yeah, they've got a really strong team fight. I mean, Scylla alone just brings such a huge dynamic, assuming you can hit your skill shots. That's always the warning label when you pick Scylla, is that if you can hit your abilities, she's phenomenal. Top tier, easily. But if you can't, then you're going to have a bad time. That's just the way it works. So Risky Behavior is going to have to do some preventative steps in order to make sure that the Scylla doesn't blow up. But the Perky Pandas already have a team composition that really aids her damage potential.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So bans coming out here. The Perky Pandas opting to ban a Cabrakan and a Jingwei. Jingwei, a little unusual of a ban. Still a pretty strong ADC, but we haven't seen much play coming out of Jingwei. Meanwhile, Risky Behavior do opt to ban out the Huyi and the Apollo. So they kind of know exactly what they want to go for here, and the Perky Pandas will immediately lock in that Anhur.
Yeah, and with them having in mind that they want the Anhur, that's more than likely why they banned out the Jingwei. They didn't want, somebody who has easy access back into the lane. They basically tried to set up the best scenario for Anhur. And I think that they gave it to him. I think with Sobek there as well, they have all the potential to bully a dual lane. And Medusa, Ravana is going to be the response on Risky Behavior side. Now, Ravana, I'm not sure who he's going to be up against, and actually it's going to be Tyr, but Ravana alone is going to be very scary because he's going to be putting a lot of pressure onto that backline Scylla, as well as the Anhur.
Oh, absolutely, indeed. Ravana, he's just a backline bully. He will get into the backline and just do whatever he wants. There's not a lot you can do to stop him. He's a good amount of CC immunity. He has, he has his ultimate, which allows him to basically jump over whatever wall he needs. He has a lot of potential to harass the backline, but I really like the duo lane coming out of Risky Behavior here. The Athena Medusa combo is one of the classic, like right when Medusa first came out, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Athena Medusa is the lane for her." I absolutely love Medusa, one of my favorite characters in general, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for good combinations coming out of Risky Behavior here. But in general, I do really like the team fight potential coming out of the Perky Pandas.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see as we do get pulled into the game. The Perky Pandas versus Risky Behavior. This one's for all the marbles, and Risky Behavior looks like they are going to be at a bit of a disadvantage this game, as we did see more success last game out of the team fight composition, whereas it looks like Risky Behavior is running the pick composition.
Yeah. So interesting notes coming out here. Venue going for this. Morningstar into Bluestone Pendant start. That was a very old build coming out of Medusa. You're going to go for that Transcendence. She's a pretty mana-heavy god, so that, Transcendence certainly kind of necessary for her, and then the Bluestone just to get some early damage. That has potential for a really early kill. It just leaves you with a little less sustain than, say, the Death Soul Boots 1 build, but it'll be interesting to see how well this lane meshes up, because if you get the right combos coming out of Medusa, it can be a lot of damage. It can be in very early first blood, especially with that Athena taunt. But we will see as we get into game here for a second. Everyone's still grouping up. A lot of power pots coming out. This has been the power pot meta as of Season 3. We've seen just nothing but power pots.
Well, it's a little bit better than it used to be. With 50 gold less, you were able to get like a full power pot as well as a couple of items. It was a little bit ridiculous. But adding that extra restriction forced people to just get consumables rather than a whole item. So that's still at least a little bit better than what it used to be. But going over towards the middle lane, both sides electing to go with the Soulstone. So it looks like Vampiric Shroud is now a flavor item rather than a consistent meta one.
Yeah, it's a lot having to do with these early gods. Isis, one of the highest clearing gods in the early game, actually getting a lot of poke on the Daze there. Daze still level 1, meanwhile Isis, Shalbert being at level 2, and just look at the damage coming out of Isis there. That is why you go for a power pot Isis. She just... If you thought Isis power pot cleared well before, you haven't seen her with Soulstone. It's absolutely devastating. And Daze on that Scylla just kind of needs the Soulstone power pot to clear. I mean, the problem with Scylla is that while her early game was recently buffed, it's still a little not as good as the Isis power pot. So it's definitely going to be an interesting duel or interesting mid lane. Nothing too aggressive coming out. Shalbert did get, a good bit of poke in the early game, but not... Right now, it's just kind of... Everyone's going to go do their XP camps, and no one's really going to try too hard to get that kill.
Over in the Soul lane, Tyr under a lot of pressure. He's taking quite a bit of damage. He's possibly in danger of dying here. Now he's going to be able to run into the jungle safely, but... Anytime you go up against a Ravana, one of the scary factors is that if you attack him, you're setting yourself up for a lot of damage. But no, yeah, I was gonna say now it looks like Ravana might be a bit on the back foot, bit off a bit more than he can chew. He's gonna still get off quite a bit of good poke. But Ravana versus Tyr. Tyr usually wins lane after he gets about that level 6, 7 marker where he can just heal up everything. And you can already see a little bit right there. Whereas Ravana, a bit harder to sustain as well as Tyr.
That is certainly true. Ravana does not have the amazing heal that Tyr does, and he will, slowly but surely get shoved under tower. But again, Ravana is just going to be a lane bully. It doesn't matter. Once he reaches about the level 15 mark, he's just going to kind of go off and do whatever he wants. He'll go harass the back lines of everyone. Meanwhile, Tyr will just take the front line and absorb it all up. And nothing too big coming out. Oh, Little Pluck coming out into a lane. Video getting trapped here, but He's going to walk away for now. Dash does come out. Nice little shell from Collateral to ensure the safety of his ADC. Now, Venue does have to clear under tower here. This is actually one of the really problematic combos coming out pre-level 5 for this duo lane here. The impale into the pillar and the plucking out of Nick Haro there on that Sobek, that can lead to some very early kills. And even with this duo lane, stops his last hitting, trying to get as much efficiency from that farm as he can. Now we're looking to invade this red buff here.
They're going to get the speed.
Yeah.
Over on, I was talking about over on the other end. But over on the duo side, yeah, Anhur and Sobek are going to get that red. So a lot of buff trading going on. Might be an early engage coming out over here onto this tier. Spirit Ball does miss. Armillary Sash does not, and they aren't going to secure that kill. Needed that ball to hit if they wanted to have any chance of taking out tier. But Scylla as well as the Hun bots are able to secure their own speed. Unfortunately for tier, the blue was taken.
Fortunately, indeed, it did. Did that actually? Yeah, it did actually end up going to Mango. Now Mango, he was just hiding around the corner, maybe hoping that Kobe would push up, but instead, Mango's just going to clear the wave. But now the problem comes next time.
Over in the left side of the map, we've got a little bit of an engage coming out as up in the sky we see Nija. There's the ultimate from Scylla, or excuse me. Yep, there it is. The Scylla ultimate does come out. Spirit Ball not going to land. So a couple of missed abilities results in nobody dying just yet. No first blood.
Yeah, it's an interesting problem you have with Scylla. You gotta land that ultimate when they're very much CC'd. Plasma had a good ultimate there to kind of force him into a wall, but at the same time, Scylla just didn't have the correct angle to get in there, drop the ultimate, and unfortunately, Mr. Markin was not able to confirm a kill, but neither was the other side, so it all kind of worked out in the end.
I was really surprised to see how long Scylla held that ultimate, because if she had actually popped it earlier, you have to remember, even though Nija is in the air with your teammate, that doesn't necessarily mean that when she comes down, you can't use the setup as a detriment towards Nija. So a little bit of an interesting mindset from the Scylla player that I just witnessed, in my opinion at least. So Gold Fury, no wards on it directly. Medusa and Anhur boxing it out every now and again. You can already see that Medusa losing a bit more of the exchanges. The Death Toll build does keep Anhur a bit healthier than the Medusa who went for the Bluestone Transcendent start.
Yeah, and before you get that Transcendence online, it's definitely going to be in favor of the Anhur. Just Medusa won't have the damage to output, and the sustain coming out of the Death's Toll boot start will outlast. And because there's no early kill coming out of the part of Venue, it's just going to be a relatively slow lane until Sops can either get a kill or Venue gets that Transcendence online.
He's trying to look for some kind of opportunity, but speaking of opportunity, over in the middle lane, we might see something come up for the members of the Perky Pandas as Scylla misses the Omni Monster, but Plasma still chasing down the Nija, not going to find anything with that one. Nikki Haro isn't able to find the signature strike on anyone either. Sops is in the nearby area. He does have an ultimate. Is he going to be able to set up something? No, he's not going to be able to go in under tower. Way too much of an investment without any guaranteed return.
But it looks like the Perky Pandas are going to start the Gulf here. This may be what Sops is waiting to use his ultimate for. Ooh, but instead, Collateral immediately plucked it and immediately erased, as now the rest of the Perky Pandas are going in here onto Shaliber. Shaliber surviving for now. Ultimate does come out there of Anhur. Does get trapped in. Kofi over the top gets the kill. Now, two members of Risky Behavior are down, but it looks like the Perky Pandas are not going to go for the Gold Fury. Instead, they're going for the safer route, going for these XP camps on the side, and maybe looking for some more farm in general. Maybe go for a bit of an invasion here, but instead they're going to opt to clear up their own camps. Just want to play it safe, as meanwhile, Mango's going to get a bit of poke on the Soul Lane tower.
Yeah, he unfortunately rotated way too late. Started to see him come towards the fight, but at that point it was already way past his opportunity to come over and help with the Gold Fury fight. So this is the importance of getting involved in heavy rotations, always knowing where your solo laner is, and ward placement, honestly. Tier came in, secured 2 kills for his teammates, and now you're looking at a 1-0 tier and a 101 Scylla.
Yes, indeed. And the first blood did go over to the Perky Pandas. Taking a look at the graphs real quick, it's basically even. Risky Behavior did have a bit of a lead there, just, a little more efficiency on the side of, camps and stuff. But it was basically evened out by the Perky Pandas, so, all for not as now.
Over on the left side of the map, they see a lot of members of Risky Behavior over on the right side, and that gave them all the information they needed to try and invest in on this. Still, I'm a Monster used even to secure that gold fury.
Yep. And now Kobe in the mid lane here, just trying to provide some harass going on to Risky Behavior. That gold fury was secured for basically free. The Perky Pandas did have the ward coverage there that Risky Behavior was not able to provide. And meanwhile, I don't think Risky Behavior know it yet. I don't think they have the awareness. Oh, but Venue has come over and, yep, sees the gold fury down. Unfortunately, a missed call coming out of Risky Behavior as now. Venue may be a little out of position here. Does not get spotted out by Sops or Nikaro. Dash comes out. Looks like Venue is going to be fine for now. Just gonna get some poke taken onto him. About a quarter of his health gone already. And now Venue missing all the autos here. Venue losing this trade very much so, and Sops soloing Venue from that.
And that is a very big loss emotionally as an AD carry to just get bodied that hard. I mean, I don't like using that terminology, but every auto attack was landing for the Anhur, and very few were landing for the Medusa. So it was a very strong win for Anhur. And on top of that, he does have the Bound Gauntlet on his side, so a lot more attack speed. That was a fight that I don't believe Medusa should have taken. Anytime you're that far down in the attack speed category, you usually don't want to take disadvantage fights like that.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Fate's a little off the mark with the ultimate, or rather, maybe Plasma, very on the mark with those purification. Has now disengagement coming out of Risky Behavior. 4-man rotation to grab this red buff. We've seen a lot of those.
Yep, just making sure they get the objective, which is the red buff, and the Perky Pandas are going to secure themselves a right experience camp. Tyr gonna show a little bit of damage onto the solo lane tower and start to even that one up a bit. A lot more wards coming out for Risky Behavior though, so they are recognizing that they need to do something to change the pacing of this game, and they're starting it off with ward vision, which is very good.
It is a start indeed. Taking a look at the graphs, about 1,700 gold and about 2,000 XP in favor of the Perky Pandas. So far, they're sitting with 3 kills to none on the side of Risky Behavior. Basically, the entire left-hand side of the map has gone down. Meanwhile, the solo lane and the jungle both sitting nice and alive for Risky Behavior for now. But looks like Sops trying to invade, and actually, I think successfully stealing at least one of those boars there for... Oh no, actually he didn't steal any of the boars there. Medusa was able to spot out in time the boars being stolen there, but now Venue, he's going to clear up these XP boars and just going to kind of relax here.
Taking a look at the builds for a second, Scylla sitting on the Book of Toss, so really aggressive start. Transcendence is now fully stacked on the side of Medusa. Meanwhile, Anhur has his Soul Eater completed. And now he's going to take advantage of that and go for a fight, but this one didn't work out too well in his favor. He's forced to retreat and nearly died in the process. Scylla and the rest of his team members, however, are going to be able to do something to clean up that kill onto the Venue as I'm a Monster comes out, doesn't connect. Ja used the ultimate as a defensive retreat mechanism. Sobek may be in a little bit of trouble here as he's going to be taunted into a Spirit Ball, into an Armillary Sash, into death. That's going to be a kill, finally going over to Risky Behavior after 12 minutes of the game.
Yep. Now 4-1 in favor still of Perky Pandas. Risky Behavior now officially on the board. The kill was onto the Sobek though, so not the best target.
Meanwhile, looking over the soul lane, just gonna be Ravana trying to back as Tyr wants to take down this tower. If Ravana doesn't TP back, there it is. He's gonna use that tower, but we actually haven't seen an aggressive Athena ultimate all game. We've seen a lot of responsive Athena ultimates, defensive ones to try and keep the teammates alive, rather than Dejan's going onto a target. Let's go ahead and ult her so that when, or excuse me, him, so that when he comes down, all of a sudden it's Athena ultimate on top of the Dejan ultimate.
Yeah, I think this is just a product of risky behavior being a little bit behind. They want to play it safe. You know, they don't want to take this aggressive stance.
There's
Venny,
Sobek.
yeah, Venue may get collapsed on here. Dash comes out. Nick Haro really, I think, just mostly doing that for pressure here, as the Perky Pandas are gestured around this Gold Fury here. No real wards coming out, though, for risky behavior around the Gold Fury, so they don't really have a lot of knowledge here. Actually, that Sobek coming through may have just alerted them to that, as collateral here. He's looking towards the Gold Fury, and now the rest of risky behavior is grouped up here. Fates does pop down the sentry ward for now, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be just a disengagement here. No one's really going to start up the Gold Fury here yet. Everyone's looking for their plucks.
I'm still waiting to see Ravana make his way over to some of these other fights or anything really, just to see how the fights and everything else changes. Anhur forced out of his own fight. Medusa is strong-handedly nearly taking him out.
Yeah, this is one of the advantages to going this Transcendence Warrior Tabby route is you get a lot more power and you get a lot more damage out.
Meanwhile, Scylla off in an island by herself. Humbot's forced to use the Fear No Evil to try and aid. I'm a Monster does land on the two people, connecting for a lot of damage on her, trying to use the ultimate to get something out of it. And unfortunately, that damage is going to be all to waste, as 3 members of risky behavior ward off the rest of the Perky Pandas. Tyr comes in to try and save this Gold Fury, but I think that's for a lost cause. You might want to give this one up.
Yes, but Kofi might be able to get a play here. Might be able to get a kill on Venue. Oh, but risky behavior do get the Gold Fury. Kofi just a little off the mark, and now he may get collapsed on as Venue does get the kill there. That's going to be the start. Now Venue's sitting 2-2-0, and with a lot of gold in his pocket, he's going to be sitting happy, and now really going to be able to take an advantage over this Anhur.
You know, even with Tyr's passive, I just don't see a scenario where taking that Gold Fury would have been worth it, especially since he was going to die. There was no way he was going to avoid all that CC. Artillery Sash, Stun Ball, Taunts. I mean, there's just so many things he would have had to overcome to escape. And so that leaves only one option, take the Gold Fury, which he didn't do, ended up dying. And that was a big swing for risky behavior. Now you see over the graphs that risky behavior is about 900 gold in the lead, 900 experience in the lead, which isn't a huge number, but it does put them in the driver's seat for once this game.
Yeah, it certainly starts them in that. It starts them on the road to getting going, as well. You know, not just the gold shift, but the momentum shift as well. In the mental state of these players, hey, we just got the Gold Fury. That's a good thing. We're starting to turn this up.
I'm actually really surprised to see how well Medusa came back into this game as far as mentally and KDA. She went down 2 deaths before she was able to get 2 kills, and now you're seeing situations time and time repeatedly where Anhur has to jump away. He has to back off. He can't deal with damage that Medusa is bringing out.
I think that's a lot to do with the mid-game build that Venue has built into the Transcendence. You know, once she gets that fully stacked, once the pen boots or the damage boots do come out, that's just a lot of damage that the Anhur really doesn't have. He has the lifesteal, but it's not an Aussie. It's not this massive amount of lifesteal. It's a little burst heal, and it's only about 20% physical lifesteal. It's just not as effective, and especially with Venue on that dash, getting a lot of damage there onto Sops. Sops does use the ultimate to counteract. Venue still has... actually, Venue's ultimate is down for a little while here. But yeah, the only reason Sops even barely won that trade is because he had his ultimate. Venue's still sitting about half health, and Sops is a little lower in that regard.
Bokatoth nearly stacked to completion with Scylla. She's going to be hitting really heavily as soon as she finishes off what I'm assuming is going to be a Obsidian Shard. with this magic focus. It could also be a spear, but it's a little awkward to have spear as Scylla. You don't have a lot of opportunities to just stack that item. So over on the other end, though, Isis a little bit more of a support-ish style build, where she's more focused on her survivability as well as getting as close to true damage. Has the Shoes of the Magi, Dynasty Blade Helm, working on the Talon Trinket, which is going to turn into a Bancroft's Talon. So she's not necessarily going to be hitting as hard as Scylla, but more consistent.
Yeah, as well, and just providing safety for herself. Get a bit of that magical lifesteal online. She may actually end up... no, she... I was going to say she could potentially go into the... I had the name of the item in my head. The Pythagorean's piece.
Oh.
But there's no real magical damage. It maybe provide a little more cooldown reduction. I don't know. It's a weird
Here comes the fight over next to the Fire Giant Pit. Artillery Sash used to ultimate the Sobek. He's only going to be taking peanuts for damage, but there's going to be the Batz ultimate as well, as I'm a Monster finishes off Fate. There's the second charge from I'm a Monster. She's chasing. She wants to go with the Isis. Goes for it. Misses, unfortunately. Materia is hot on the chase. Under tower, 1v2. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. I don't think he's going to be able to get the scale. In fact, I don't even think he's going to be able to survive. Meanwhile, on the backside, 3v1. Ravana is doing his own bit of work. He's trying to take out at least one member of the Perky Pandas, and Scylla using her abilities to deter him from chasing any further. Kopi is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and there is no way he's going to be able to escape this one easily. Sobek comes in to try and aid him just a little bit as Spirit Ball connects onto the Sobek, killing him off, and it looks like Kopi not going to connect with the cleave. He's going to be taken out as well.
That was very close there coming out of Shaliber. He almost died about 4 times there from the tier. Tier actually able to heal up pretty well just from minions and other creeps throughout. He survived under that tier 2 tower, or in between that tier 1 and tier 2 tower for a long time, and actually ended up diving the tier 1 tower to almost get the kill, but was just the tiniest bit off the mark on his power cleave there. And now, take a look at the graphs. It's a little bit of a swing in favor of risky behavior now. 2,000 gold and 2,500 XP is going to start their leads compounding here. Collateral is not... Oh no, he does place a ward there. It's hidden under the Gold Fury. As now Scylla just came in to get a little poke, see what's going on. As now Mango has come in. He's going to start to get in that backline bully status as he has reached the level 18 mark. He's got a couple items online. That Ritual Dagger. Ritual Dagger, a little interesting, but he's also built into that Thorn, so... He wants to make sure that Thorn's proc goes on as long as possible. We saw that used very effectively in the last fight. That one of the reasons why he was able to box 1v3 for so long is just because he had Thorns lasting for 5 seconds, now 7.5 seconds. That's a long time for Thorns to be on this now. Big fights coming out. The Perky Pandas Daze cleans up Shaliber there with a nice ultimate over the top. Sob's trying to clean up I-Fates on the side. Oh, but a blink comes in from Kofi, trying to get the fuck onto Collateral. Oh, but Fates gets taken himself. Sobs cleans up I-Fates. There is now 4 members of Perky Pandas are pushing down this tier 1 tower. Mango here just trying to box him out. Collateral taunts 1. Kiharu just running away for now. As Mango is still here. He's still in the front line. He's still trying to disrupt, but he's taking a good bit of damage himself. Nikaro is pretty low, but now still the Perky Pandas are pushing down this tier 2 tower. Mango is just now boxing with Kokobi right now. Just a solid slap fight between the two. Kokobi now escapes over the wall as the tier 2 tower does go down. That's certainly a win there for the Perky Pandas.
Perky Pandas taking 2 towers and looking for any opportunity they can, but over in the dual lane, it looks like we're going to see Daze taken out here. There's no way he's going to be able to survive that one. Anhur comes in to maybe find some kind of kill opportunity, but he might be in a bit of trouble as Plasma doesn't want to invest too deeply into any kind of aggression over here. Meanwhile, Medusa gets off a little bit more damage, and now 3 people staring into the eyes of the rest of the wounded members of the Perky Pandas who just invested a lot into getting that tier 1 and tier 2 tower over the middle lane, and now they have to find a response to this Medusa who's already taken out 2 people. Lifesteal is keeping her alive just long enough, but no, not enough to survive Sobek.
Yep. Oh, now Mango plucked into the Phoenix there. They're going to take some poke there, but there is no real response from the Perky Pandas. Says, well, they're all dead. So it looks like Kofi is going to split push here, take this tier 2 tower in response to the tier 2 tier 2 tower taken on the left side. Now Mango gonna return to base. Yeah, Kobe doing a pretty good job of just split pushing here. But in response, Shalper is also split pushing. I-Fates cleans up Nikaro, though. Oh, but Daze does have his ultimate. I-Fates just walking around. Daze, no CC coming out for Daze, so FaZe just walks out of the I'm a Monster.
You have to learn where to cut your losses. After Scylla looked to be dead, you needed to back off. Anhur jumped in and wanted to make big plays, and then Batz didn't know whether or not he should try and help out his teammate, and all of a sudden, you're down 3 towers when you just took 2 towers, completely negating any kind of advantage you already had. They only lost 1 tower initially, but then they lost 2, or no, they actually lost 3 because of all that. So Go Fury, the next objective on the minds of Risky Behavior, and they should be able to get this one, as they do have the circle protections on it, and that is going to be secured by Risky Behavior.
Sops, I thought he had it. It was very close, but not close enough, as that circle protection does do large burst damage, able to secure the Gold Fury just in time.
Both sides going back to their respective corners of the map and clearing out some of these objectives and buffs. The only thing left actually on the map is a back harpy and fire giant.
There's a speed buff there, but that's not going to be there for long. That's going to be cleaned up pretty easily there. Sops and Venue trading out pretty well. Sops actually taking a lot of damage here. Sops going to go down here in any moment. Venue using that ultimate just to clean it up for style. Nikaro now putting some damage on the Venue, but it's not going to be too much. The ultimate does come out there for Collateral, just defensively. Venue gonna run away for now. Collateral here just to provide some assistance in case a little collapse goes onto him, but looks like the Perky Pandas are just going to back it off, clean up their own camps, and just be happy.
Medusa has been the key focal point for the members of Risky Behavior, staying at a comfortable point in the game. In fact, now because of her efforts, she is the reason they are winning this game. Every time that Risky Behavior is not doing too hot on one side of the map, she ends up getting a kill or a kill opportunity on the other, working out to their favor. But there's going to be a lot of abilities used there to kill off the Najal and the Fire Giant side of the map, and I'm a Monster not going to connect onto the Isis. They are able, however, to deny the vision on the Fire Giant, but counter ward comes out immediately after.
Yeah, this is going to be the dance of the Fire Giant now, as we have reached the 25-minute mark. Level 20s, we have 3 for the side of the Perky Pandas, and 3 for Risky Behavior as well. So it's about an even game in terms of XP, a little bit in favor of Risky Behavior now. Purification popped there by Kobe, just trying to collapse on the Venue, not able to find it. Because of that, Purification popped, and now a big grouping here around the Fire Giant for the Perky Pandas. They're not quite, not quite going to start. They're going to be looking for a pick here instead. Nikaro is going to be in the front line. He's going to look to try and grab somebody, but not really able to find it. Risky Behavior is playing back. They're going to wait for the Perky Pandas here to make a mistake. Mango plucked immediately. Not the best person you want to pluck. He's going to take a lot of damage, but he's going pretty low himself. Mango he's down to about a quarter of his HP. Now he's getting run down here by Kobe. He's going to escape for now. Nikaro is here. Oh, but I-Fates is taken up in the air. Daze getting very low. Sops getting the kill onto I-Fates now. In the backline, Venue getting run down here by Sops. Sops going to back it off for now. Venue taking about half his health, and now this is going to be a Fire Giant for the Perky Pandas. I don't see how Risky Behavior is going to stop this.
Well, Shalper still has an ultimate, so I'm a little curious as to whether or not I would invest into defending, or invest into taking this Fire Giant. It's still really risky, even if the Perky Pandas just won a small fight, but it doesn't appear that Risky Behavior wants to invest at all into it. And actually, the Perky Pandas, they are able to secure the Fire Giant. Now they need to get out as soon as possible.
Yeah, Mango there almost stole it with his ultimate. But a nice 3-man root there coming out of Scylla. Got a good bit of damage onto all 3 of them. So, power of the Fire Giant is certainly in show here. As now full disengagement coming out of Perky Pandas. They do not want to fight Risky Behavior yet. Gotta wait to get some of those items finished up and online here. Level 20s coming out on most of the board here. Batz and basically the junglers and the supports are the other ones who are not level 20 yet. And now, this is going to be a close game. Perky Pandas now having the Fire Giant online, they have the opportunity here to start something. They're probably going to look down to push this left-hand side tower and maybe go for the tier 2 as well. They certainly do have the option, as it looks like most of the risky behavior is grouped up around the mid lane.
You know, really confused and concerned why Isis went back. She had the circle protection. She could have made a fight out of that scenario just with her ultimate alone and a couple of her team members. With Medusa on the way, Isis could have set up a really nice fight, and they could have gotten Fire Giant. So, not sure what happened there, but now they're staring at a full 5-man Fire Giant to Perky Pandas, who are pushing down the last tower remaining on risky behavior side.
Yeah. So this is the fight where, actually, it looks like Venue is going to be split pushing right now. So this is a... Oh, never mind. He's going to return back to base. Just defending from this left-hand side. Phoenix going to be taken. As now the Perky Pandas are going to look towards this Gold Fury. No contention coming out of risky behavior. They know 5-man grouping with Fire Giant is not the place to try and steal a Gold Fury from. As now the rest of risky behavior is just going to back it off. They're going to clear up what little XP camps they have and try and farm up, get some of their last items online, and this is the late game, folks.
Yeah, it is the late game indeed. Tyr going for a bit more of an aggressive approach build up until the Steel Mail. I'm interested to see if that's going to turn into a Midgardian Mail, just to prevent some chase from the Medusa and the Ja. But other than that, I really think that the Perky Pandas have an opportunity to win this game right here, right now, especially if they get a good team fight under their belt and turn that over into a couple Phoenix kills. There's a lot of opportunity for them. But meanwhile, on the side of risky behavior, they still have the advantage in gold, in momentum just slightly, because they still have the Medusa, who's 6-3 right now, actually, I believe, on a rampage. And then Isis has the circle protections, which can completely turn a fight entirely. Ravana been doing a good job of harassing the backline as well. He hasn't died yet this game, so there's a lot of tools left on risky behavior's side that they have to turn this fight completely around.
They do indeed. But right now, looks like the Perky Pandas are going to be looking for a push here. They're trying to find some picks first, but risky behavior, no, yeah, we're not gonna go too far into our jungle. We got wards. Venue is kind of spotted out there, but the ward coverage will see that Sops is there in the jungle. So yeah, it looks like Perky Pandas are they're trying to look for these picks, but unfortunately, this team of risky behavior is a little too experienced to know. Yeah, we're not gonna go into the jungle. You're 5-man grouped as yeah, we're not gonna go in. We're not gonna risk that.
The death sentence for risky behavior has got to be the Phoenixes. If they lose those, there is no coming back from that. However, the win condition for them is easily catch the enemy team under a Phoenix and punish them for their over-aggression. The Perky Pandas, surprisingly enough, don't have a lot of sustainability overall as a team. They have no meditations. Most of their characters can't self-heal in burst. It's not a team composition that can win the battle of attrition.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Shalbur is the only one on his team that has a bit of a heal, a bit of a team heal. So I can see that, in a long-term fight, I think
let's talk about the Perky.
Oh, well, the Perky Pandas. Yeah, Perky Pandas doesn't really have anything. Risky behavior does. I don't know. This is gonna be a really tough Fire Giant dance, I think. We saw Nikaro almost got out there by collateral, but the dash from both is a little bit too good. So now the Fire Giant has just respawned. 4-man grouping coming out of risky behavior. 3-man grouping out of the Perky Pandas. Medusa is still in the mid lane here. And now disengagement coming out from Nikaro. Knocked up collateral and just ran away. Sops just popped his 450 power pot. Oh, is now collateral taunted too. Getting some good bit of damage. Daze pops purification in the backline, but collateral getting very low. Collateral gets cleaned up there by Sops, actually with an assist from the Fire Giant. Ooh, but Shalbur is getting very low. Kofi just devastating the backline there. Oh, but Venue is as well taking a lot of damage there from Nikaro. Nikaro go down here, but not before Kokobi takes out Shaliber. Fates is still in the back line, does clean up Nikaro. Kokobi is still running hard after Fates. Fates going down again to Kokobi. Sops cleans up Mango, though. And now this is 4 members versus 1 of Perky Pandas. Venue surviving for now, but he's going to go down here very shortly. That is a Dia side. That is 4 very low members of the Perky Pandas.
This game.
It's
more than likely. Even if not game, it's at least all 3 Phoenixes. Surprisingly enough, Tier's going to be able to heal up most of that. And in fact, no, he doesn't like to do so. So they are going to like to back off.
Well, there's no creeps there. I don't think Kobe really had any opportunity there. I think it was just the creeps were too quickly cleaned up there by Days and Sops. So a little miscommunication there. Kobe now, he's just going to take up the Fire Giant. Sops pretty well healed up, so... Now they're going to go for the Fire Giant. They just had to wait for Kobe to, heal up from the back.
So, they get the Fire Giant. They have Millfix down. It looks like Risky Behavior has another large hill to climb. Unfortunately, getting initiated on a miscommunication as to when to use the Isis Ultimate, really split up fight, and a pinch maneuver from the Perky Pandas completely eliminated any chance for Risky Behavior to win that last engagement.
Yeah, as well, Kobe really... was effectively getting in the backline. He was harassing the backline a lot more, and Collateral as well died pretty early. He got very low very early, so any sort of protection that the backline had that Shaliber really needed to get away from Kobe was just instantly erased, and it was a very good job there by the Perky Pandas with that fight, and now momentum has shifted in their favor. They're going to be taking down these next couple Phoenixes here, and this is going to be the game.
It's really surprising to see. You look at the player damage numbers, and it's so disgustingly in favor of Medusa at the top. She's at 30k, whereas the next person is at 20k at Ravana. And so by those numbers alone, if you were to just take that and say who won the game, you're thinking, man, Medusa carried the crap out of the blue team. I mean, what happened? But realistically speaking, it's all about team fights, team scenarios, and you look across the board on the other end, assist all throughout. The lowest assist number is 5. That's on Anhur, who actually has 5 kills. Meanwhile, on the other end, it's a little bit lower. Now they have a few less kills, but it's still a big factor.
Meanwhile, fights are happening around this Phoenix here. Ooh, Day's a little bit off the mark there, but Fate's gonna get immediately cleaned up there by Kofi. In the backline is Mango. He's trying to find a pick onto someone. He's just going in, taking a whole bunch of damage. Kofi and friends now not really able to push this Phoenix here. Plasma is a little too low in the back. No one really on this. Ooh, Venue almost there, picked there by Kofi, but nice little purification pops out. Nikaro is in the back line. He's just trying to harass, but Shaliber cleans up Days with the ultimate. It's a little caught out there, but now Sops and Shaliber are having a little bit of a boxing match. Phoenix still not down, and Nikaro is going to take a lot of damage. He's going to go down here any moment now. Oh, but the taunt. The taunt is not there. Kokobi, he's going to jump over the wall. He's going to try and escape from now. And this is a full disengagement coming out of the Perky Pandas. A brilliant fight coming out of Risky Behavior.
But this is one of the reasons why you always want to keep Fire Giants pushing down the middle lane, or wherever Fire Creeps pushing down whatever lane doesn't have a Phoenix, because that diverts the attention of the enemy team. Somebody has to respond to the Fire Giant getting aggressed on by Fire Giant Creeps, or excuse me, Fire Minions at that moment. And so if you can weaken their forces just enough, then you can win most given fights. But unfortunately, they lost their Scylla at the very beginning of that engagement with the Athena taunt into the circle protection under the Phoenix. And then on top of that, there was just no real way for them to get in there easily without a Humbot's ultimate.
And the Humbot's ultimate was one of the very first things used in the fight, and it got some members of Risky Behavior pretty low, and I think it actually did end up killing Fates there, but it just wasn't enough. It just seemed like the Risky Behavior was able to fight. As now Nikaro a little off the mark with the pluck, was not able to collapse there onto Fates. Now the Risky Behavior's Phoenix has respawned. Kobe is taunted out. He's caught in the Phoenix. He's going to take some damage here, but not enough to cause a full disengagement. Fire Giant minions or Fire Creeps rather are running down the mid, but Venue plucked almost immediately there by Nikaro. Bates cleans up Sops though with the ultimate. Shalberd gets cleaned up though by Nikaro. Bates getting pretty low here, but Mango is in the backline just disrupting, trying to do some damage. Now Mango taking a good bit of damage himself. Collateral is here trying to taunt away, trying to find something. Venue is still alive. He's been healed up back to full. Plasma here taking a good bit of damage. Plasma may go down, but Purification is popped. He's going to run away for now. Daze is in the backline very low as well. Fire Giant is gone from the Perky Pandas. That was a 1-for-1 trade. Phoenix does go down again, but now Daze gets the kill on the Mango there. Risky Behavior is still pushing hard, trying to find the kills here.
Unfortunately, Kobe is taken out by Fates, and now the Crush is going to be the only thing deterring the rest of the members of Risky Behavior from chasing the Perky Pandas. Taunt not going to work onto the Sobek, and the rest of the members of the Perky Pandas are able to escape. However, losing 2, the only thing that they have under their belt as a victory is taking that middle Phoenix. Fire Giant, though, is spawning, and if the members of Risky Behavior recognize this, they should turn around right now and get to that as fast as possible. Instead, they're going to turn their attention over to the Sobek, more than likely get this kill, as he is not going to be able to escape.
Yep, it looks like Venue and friends on Risky Behavior are just, they're not actually they are going towards the Fire Giant right now. They don't really have a good a good front line, so maybe they're just going to be looking for picks here. Sops and Plasma are right around the corner, as well as Fates and Venue. They're not starting it yet, though. This is a mistake. It's just allowing more and more of the Perky Pandas' ultimates to come back online, and now Fire Giant is going to be started here by Risky Behavior. They have these ultimates to try and secure it. Collateral, they're trying to zone for now. Getting a good bit of damage. Plasma erased as now Daze cleans up Shalberd in the backline with that ultimate. Oh, but a nice Sanctuary coming out of Venue will survive him or let him survive for now. Daze is cleaned up by Venue with the ultimate as well. And now this is a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Risky Behavior. Now Tyr and Anhur are the only ones alive on Perky Pandas. And Mango is here just to zone. He's going to actually probably pretty easily clean up Sops. Mango just now running him down. He's going to get the kill here any moment. And now Tyr's here. He's going to try and stop them from doing the Fire Giant, but Collateral and Venue will start it up still. Kopapi, he's trying to stop it. Does not get the steal over the top. He's going to get taunted up into the air. He's going to go down here any moment. Risky Behavior do secure the Fire Giant. Mango gets the kill on Kopapi. The Titan is under attack from the Fire Giant, the Fire minions from that middle Phoenix going down. Mango's going to try and clear those up, and now this is going to be split push after split push coming on from Risky Behavior, as they're going to be looking to start sieging. They're going to try and get one of these Phoenixes.
Really unfortunate. Execution is the most important thing when it comes to this late game situation, and the Perky Pandas just don't seem to have their execution down just yet. I mean, we saw it when they had the Fire Giant not once but twice prior to this moment, and they had a Phoenix down, still have a Phoenix down. So execution not been the best trait for the Perky Pandas. In fact, now they're suffering just a little bit as this pick style composition from Risky Behavior is taking down one member after another from the Perky Pandas side.
But Face actually almost picked himself. He might go down here to Plasma, but Venue does get the kill here. Nikaro, now he's going to get caught out. He's going to get run down. But there's no taunt coming out of Collateral. He's not going to be able to find the kill there. Face and Venue both very low. Sops has to use the Sanctuary to escape for now. As now, Risky Behavior is just going to push down this Tier 2 Phoenix. Double taunt coming out. Oh, but the Spirit Ball connects. The Spirit Ball does a lot of damage, and Collateral gets the kill onto Sops with that auto.
Really high damage numbers coming out of this Isis. She's actually sitting really low, though, in terms of the total damage, but that was a really powerful ultimate. Circle Protection is going to keep everyone nice and healthy under this Phoenix as they do siege it down, and there's nothing left on the side of the Perky Pandas. They have no Phoenixes, no towers, nothing, as Risky Behavior makes their way into the enemy jungle to take the red buff potentially, as well as the gold.
Are indeed. Full builds coming out for both teams. Everyone's just going to be backing and grabbing those power pots, healing up a little bit, and the final stage is going to come out of Risky Behavior here any moment now. With all 3 Phoenixes down, this is going to be one very tough game for the Perky Pandas to defend. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Do you think the Perky Pandas are going to be able to defend this?
I don't think so. I mean, 3 Phoenixes down is really, really tough. I know I basically said that risky behavior was screwed when they were 1 Phoenix down. Like, I already had the disposition that there was not much you could do once you're 1 Phoenix down and you were already on the back foot. But then the Perky Pandas made a couple of misplays, and then all of a sudden risky behavior is able to capitalize on them and pick off people one after another, and now you're looking at 3 Phoenixes down. So I really don't see it from here. And what's really surprising to me is that you look over, Batz is second lowest player damage of the game, period, below his support and just barely above the enemy support.
Maybe not barely, but it's a little to be expected collateral on that Athena. It's not going to have the most damage. Still managed to get a kill here and there. So, but yeah, the problem with Batz is that he's putting out these ultimates. It's not doing enough damage, and in general, his build isn't. Well, actually, no, his build's pretty damagey, but he just hasn't gotten the damage out. He's sitting at 1-3 and 12, so he certainly helped out with a lot of fights, but he just hasn't been able to output the same damage. I mean, taking a look at Venue on that Medusa, 46,000 player damage, but now big team fight coming out. Kobe has to ult away for now, as the rest of risky behavior is going to be sieging down this Phoenix.
Yeah, nobody has died just yet. However, it's not too far off. You already look at a full build, full team of Fire Giant members, and ISIS has been doing a pretty good job with these Spirit Balls. They're going to turn their attention over to this tier first. He's already brought down to a fourth of his health, and Sobek misses the charge. He's forced to use the sprint to try and get into a better position. There's Batz trying to make something happen, but Spirit Ball is going to connect. I'm a Monster does not. That's going to be a dead daze as well. Double kill going over to Shalver, and the rest of the members of the Perky Pandas look like they're going to fall as well, as they do pick up at least something onto the Najah.
Shelver a little off the mark with that Spirit Ball, but this Titan does have a wide variety of fire minions running down. This Titan is going down any moment here. Nikaro, he gets blown up there by Venue. Titan at 369 health. It does go down here to risky behavior. 44 minutes, 44 seconds was the game. That was a long game, and that was definitely a back and forth game that no one could tell until the end.
I mean, it would be really surprising to see the Medusa with 51,000 player damage lose. Like,
that is true.
We commented on it. It was really hard to imagine that someone with that big of a discrepancy in player damage to the rest of everybody, to anybody else in the game, still lost. Because that was a hard carry. It was 10-4-8. Pretty hard carry. ISIS pulled their weight in terms of healing and a little bit so in the player damage category, but overall, it was the Medusa show. And I think what surprised me the most is that Sops was winning the dual lane initially, and I'm not saying that his character or his build was going to further escalate over the Medusa, but more so just the mental aspect should have allowed them to dominate that side of the map a lot more so than they might have. We saw a couple of moments where they would go for the buff steal, but I'm not sure if they necessarily went for the Gold Fury enough or, really leveraged that advantage enough. All in all, I think big detriment. Batz not getting a lot of damage out, whether or not it was because he didn't impact the early game enough or he didn't chase down the right targets. I'm not sure. I wasn't looking that tightly, but definitely play a big factor.
Yes, indeed. Venue, he kind of put the team on his back there, especially once that first Phoenix went down and they were sieging that second Phoenix on the left side. The Venue was just like, okay, guys, let's get back into this. And he just put the team on his back. He started to carry and certainly did that. 51,000 player damage, almost double the top player damage in the game, the second top player damage in the game's days at 28,000. So he was pretty close to doubling it, but not quite. But good games to both teams. We will be right back after a short break here. We'll bring you Sanguine versus Perfect Crimes. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the music. My name is Extreme Man. This is Shadow Boy. We'll see you in a moment.